Hello and welcome to the Entertaining Pudding YouTube channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at the Star Trek The Next Generation, the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D Illustrated Handbook from Hero Collector. It says Captain Picard's ship from Star Trek The Next Generation. It's a nice hardcover, nice dust jacket, good size as you can see. Take a look at the side and binding. Looks good on the shelf. Star Trek The Next Generation. Focus. In the back, Illustrated Handbook by Ben Robinson. You can read the back there. We're just going to do a thumb through. No script or anything. I'm just going to take a look at the book. Of course, you've got some little information on the inside of the dust jacket. Oh, beautiful picture of the Enterprise. That's a nice one. Looks like it's from an episode. I love that view. The title page. Table of contents. Announcements and forward. Here's something cool. Design lineage. It's got the NX-01 from Star Trek Enterprise, the Enterprise from Discovery and Strange New Worlds, the Enterprise from the original series, from the movies, the refit, the Enterprise B from Star Trek Generations, also from the movies, and the Enterprise C from yesterday's Enterprise. Pretty neat. It's got all the Enterprises, not all the Enterprises, but the Enterprises within the Star Trek universe, within Starfleet. Construction history. This is detailed. Every paragraph has something about putting together the like right here, the superstructure of the impulse engines, putting the shuttles into place, interior things, all this. Operational history. Just tells us some of the missions, the importance of the Enterprise to the Federation. Tells of the end of service when it crashed. The end of generations. Now these are really cool. The dorsal view, ventral view. These are they're photorealistic pictures. I'm not sure if they're pictures of the actual filming model or they're probably just AI. But they have to have some kind of basis to render. Really cool. There's a skeletal structure, what I was talking about. It's kind of cool. Let's see what we got here. Main engineering, where a lot of the stories take place. There's what they call the pool table behind the scenes. We can see it. There's a picture of it over here. It's the master display monitor that they use when they're doing all their calculations and trying to save themselves. You see the warp core is several stories tall. Here's in the cell control room. This happened in episode Eye of the Beholder. It's the one where Troy was getting telepathic feelings from something that happened and she almost committed suicide. You have to see the episode. She almost jumped through there into the warp nacelle. Warp core ejection. The impulse engines. RCS thrusters. So reaction controls. The EPS network. Structural integrity fields. I mean, it gets into everything. Here we go, the main bridge. If you ever wondered what the layout was, here it is. Well, you can see it all the time. It's pretty neat. There's a picture of it over here. Close-up of the bridge seating. This is what's neat coming up here. It shows what every console looks like. Both sides of the captain's chair. First officer's console to Riker's right there. The nav console, ops console. Security where Worf stands behind the big horseshoe. Mission specific consoles, that's all behind Worf there. On the walls, they can be changed to anything. Science, engineering, whatever they want. Main bridge refit that only happened in Generations. There's the ready room. It's got some things like the Stargazer. It's got the fish tank, which the name of the fish was Livingston. It's never really said, but it was the name of one of the producers, David Livingston, so the name of the fish, Livingston. Observation lounge, so many things take place in here, all kinds of briefings, mission briefings. They got screens at either end. Pretty neat stuff. Turbo lifts, what it looks like in the turbo lift. There's the episode Disaster, where they're trying to escape from the turbo lift when they hit the quantum filament. A lot of conversations happen in the turbo lifts, of course. Battle Bridge has only been in, I think, a couple episodes. It was in the first episode, and then it was in Arsenal of Freedom, where Geordi was in charge and they split apart. I remember that one too. I was testing my knowledge here. Phaser rays, of course. They're phaser strips all over. They never use them because of budget constraints, but you see them all over the ship. You can see them on the ventral and let me go back real quick. Yeah, any of these strips that go around here and over here and across there, those are all phasers. They didn't use them all because of, like I said, budget constraints, but they mainly used the ones on the saucer section. And the photon torpedo launchers, there was the one in the back and the one in the front. Here's what a photon torpedo looks like. Hasn't really changed from the one that they put Spock in Star Trek II. Shields. How shields work. The shield grid. Auto-destruct. You do that a couple times. There's the episode 1001010001. I think it's the episode with the binars where they do it. Phaser range. Main deflector. See, it's just got about everything. It's got all the axes for navigation procedures. It's just incredible detail, especially if you're using this for writing a novel, or if I'm sure that some people do. Some of the people that are writing next generation novels today, I'm sure they use this as a reference because it's got everything you'd ever need about the next generation Enterprise. Transporter room. O'Brien stood there a lot. Transporter systems. Picture of the pattern buffers down below. Pattern enhancers, you see those a lot. The little sticks that they put around and they form the triangle when they're having trouble in an atmosphere, like over here, atmospheric problems. They enhance the patterns so people can beam out through inclement conditions. Jeffrey tubes, a lot of things happen in Jeffrey's tubes too. A lot of conversations, a lot of action. They're all over the ship. Named after designer Matt Jeffries from the original series. Cargo bays. A lot of stuff happens in the cargo bays too. A lot of these are sets. To the main shuttle bay and support craft. Type 1, Type 15 shuttle pod. They used these early on because they were cheap. In the first season, they couldn't afford to have another full-size shuttle, so they built this little dinky thing. They only used it a few times. They moved up to this Type 6 shuttle. It's got the back that opens up. And eventually they had a few of the Type 7s, but mainly Type 6 is the one you'd see the most in Next Generation. Escape pods, you never get to see the inside of those, but that's what they look like if you ever need to know. Work B. Captain's yacht, which you never see. It's on the bottom of the saucer. Detaches from there. You see it, they use the one on the Enterprise E in Star Trek Insurrection, but they never used this one. I know the one in the E is called Calypso. I don't think this one's got a name. The brig, there's Roga Danar from The Hunted, that episode. He breaks out of the brig. Or they have him in the brig. 10 forward. Now this looks, I would figure 10 forward is bigger. Maybe it is. I figure they get something like that right. It looks, I guess not. When you look at the pictures of it, I guess just the camera angles make it look bigger. It's quite possible. Because the cameras would be, outside these windows. Of course, the holodeck. Oh, so many things on the holodeck. And as they say, what happens on the holodeck stays on the holodeck. But so many episodes revolve around the holodeck. So they even got crew quarters, crushers, wharfs, captain's quarters, palatial, replicators, sensors, sensor maintenance, main sick bay. A lot happens in main sick bay too. Dr. Crusher and Dr. Pulaski only in the second season. But with the bio beds and the surgical bay, lots of action in there. There's the diagnostic bio bed. There's the surgical bio bed. As you can see there, that might be the one. I don't know if that's where they're replacing this. Probably where they're replacing Picard's artificial heart. I think it's coming of age is the name of the episode. Hypo sprays. God, how many times you see those? And they've got them. There's what happens. That's what's actually inside within universe. Medical tricorder. Medical kits. Just anything you'd ever need. Isolation room. That was in the episode Brothers, where this kid was accidentally infected by his brother. It's also the one where Data meets, not meets, but Data's brother Lord kills his father in Communion soon. Communications. I'm sure they got the communications array. Yep, there's the subspace relay station. Short range. Life support, which goes out a lot. Artificial gravity explains how they have artificial gravity plates underneath all the decks. Tractor beams. That's a cool picture. They're all both there's pulling the Stargazer or the Hathaway. Depends. They reused it. Hathaway was in peak performance. The Stargazer was in the battle. Once again, testing my knowledge. Then we get to the away team equipment, which means phasers, tricorders. There's the original phaser, the Dustbuster, they called it, the original one from the first season. They trimmed it down to look, well, that was the Type 1 that was, they used that for budget reasons also. Phaser rifle, just extension of the regular one of these phasers. I like these a little bit better. They're not quite Dustbustery. Standard tricorder. Get all the way to the uniforms, the colors, command, operations, science, what all the pips mean. Sorry. What all the pips mean. Uniforms, different uniforms up to generations / Deep Space Nine uniforms, dress uniforms, crew, bridge jacket, medical uniforms. And that's it. The index. Really cool. Here's some more also available ones. I think I'll just stick with my next generation. Love the Enterprise D. Now I might look around. I know there's one of these for the original NCC-1701 and the refit from the motion picture. So I might look into getting something like that. The book is not too new, so it shouldn't be too hard to find and maybe not too expensive. So we'll take a look for that. Other than that, if you sat through this, I appreciate it. It was fun looking through. If it made you decide you want this, or if you're just interested in Star Trek The Next Generation, then I hope that helped you make a decision. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next one.